Now he's going to throw it long. Sammy Watkins makes an over-the-shoulder catch. Breeze retreats to throw. Arm is hit. Ball is in the air. Middle of the field. It is intercepted!
Welcome to the Super! Welcome to the Super Bowl!
McCourty to the other McCourty. Welcome to the Soup. And welcome to Good Morning Football. We are live in New York City. Friday, July 19th. Training camp is here. My name is Kay D'Angelo Hall. Here almost as always.
Yeah, I almost caught the woe. My daughter's like, throw you the woe, whatever that is. It's like, I throw you the woe, Mike, and you got to catch the woe. So I'm going to throw it to you, Jeezy.
I got horrible woe hands.
Man, catch the woe, G.
I've never heard of that.
Okay,
Garofalo, I'm glad you're here. I'm a little bit mad at you. We had our NFL Summit about a month ago. I talked to everybody that works for NFL media, from producers to PAs to the president of our whole operation here. You neglected to even say sup.
This is not true. I definitely said sup to you.
No.
Listen, you get there, you're like, oh, I can't wait to see everybody. Yeah. We're only there for a day and a half. You leave and you're like, oh, I didn't talk to this person. Listen, Colleen.
I talked to everyone but you. I hung out with Colleen for like 3 nights in a row.
I got to whisper.
Okay, and that's why I didn't talk to Colleen. You were with Colleen, so I didn't get a chance to catch up with her.
He offered me an Altoid. We were sitting next to each other.
You offered an Altoid? Should I be upset at him?
No, but I
Wait, you were there? I didn't see you.
I saw you.
Yes, you big time. Me so much so that I messaged him and said, are you mad at me about something?
No. Here. We're on West Coast time. I got a kid. I got to sleep. I'm exhausted. I'm in bed before anybody.
That kid card's getting old, Garofalo. Time for the lead block.
Lead block.
Okay, we've got our Microsoft Surfaces. Let's play a round of Name That Team with the 2018 Conference Championship Edition. The Patriots, the Chiefs, the Rams, and the Saints. We have them here on our Surfaces. So name the team who is most likely to return to the conference ship in 2019. Who wants to go first?
Return to the conference championship game?
I'm going to go first. I got the Rams.
Really?
I got the Rams. Yeah, I got the Rams. I'm telling you. I just think another year in Sean McVay's system for Jared Goff. We saw Jared Goff hit a point in the season last year where he kind of went down a little bit as far as who we thought he could be. I think another year in this system, in this scheme. You know, you talk about Todd Gurley being on a snap count. That doesn't concern me because at the end of the day, they're still going to find a way to get him the ball very creatively. Cooper Kupp comes back. I love the weapons they have offensively. I think their defense is continuing to get better and better. I think it's the Rams.
D'Angelo.
I feel like I'm going to say Patriots because I feel like 8 years in a row, Garofalo, isn't enough.
Yeah.
8's not enough.
Not enough.
Let's make it 9. What do you got?
Listen, you might think we just sit down and start talking. We actually have emails and meetings and calls the day before. I know. We make it look like, oh, yeah, off the top of my head. But so when I sent my answers in last night, I replied, sigh, Patriots, because you wanted to have like some kind of creative answer, but no, it's the Patriots are the most likely to return to the conference championship game. Do I need to go get my donuts and my bagels? If you saw me last hour, what's standing in the way? Nothing.
Fake
Nothing.
News,
I'm not falling in this trap again.
Or bagels. I've seen you eat like a bird sometimes.
Birds eat a lot
all
for their body weight.
Though.
All right,
People
name
think
the
they
team
don't.
who has the biggest question mark. So many questions about these former conference championship teams. Who's the biggest one this season?
Me? All right, I'm going to give you the Saints Nation. I'm going to give you the soundbite that you can play later and be like, look at this idiot, because Drew Brees is the MVP. But, you know, it got late in the season. They tailed off a little bit from a passing standpoint. And look, the questions are going to come up every year. When is he going to hit the wall? When is he going to start to drop off? I still have a question about this because I think he's going to have one of his Drew Brees-type seasons for this team to succeed and to get back to that conference championship. So there's your soundbite you can play later.
Love it. In Kay Adams' soundbite / broken record news, I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this defense. Not ranked very highly last year. I know that they have a new scheme. Sutton is gone. Spags. I saw what he did as defensive coordinator with the Giants, all the success he had there. So I just feel like this is the biggest question because this is the thing that held them back from winning the Super Bowl a year ago. I don't want to see Mahomes throwing 50 touchdowns.
Yeah, Kay, you are spot on. The thing that worries me is in Spags' defense, who I know this defense very well. I've had to play against it when he was with the Giants and other teams. Is does he have the personnel? It normally takes a year or two to get the kind of personnel that you need to run that defense. They're going from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Hence, you saw some guys change. D4 was a guy who left, went to another place because scheme-wise, it wasn't advantageous for him in that kind of defense. I'm interested to see the guys they bring in, how they fit and how they really take on the identity of Spags because he is a very intense coach that I hear a lot of guys love playing for him. So I think their defense will be better, but it definitely is the question mark.
I'm coming back to that in a second.
Yeah, no Eric Berry, no D4. They do add Frank Clark, so that's my biggest question. Name the team who has the most, this is a hard one, the most likely 2019 NFL MVP.
Go ahead, throw up the Saints logo after I just trashed Breeze. Go ahead, Kay. I didn't trash him.
You don't know me.
Hey,
What do you got?
I'm throwing it up.
Hey!
I'm throwing it up. Drew Brees, I felt like, was in the conversation last year. He's probably the most consistent player him and Tom Brady over the past maybe 10, 12 years. What Drew's been able to do is amazing, man. Sean Payton finds a way, in an offense that seems to evolve every year into a new wrinkle. Yeah. Sean's one of the most creative offensive minds that I've seen. Him and Drew, I know they're in the lab trying to figure out ways to score points. Can his defense be good enough to get them back to where they were last year? I think it is. And I think Drew can win an MVP.
They're super motivated. I will double down on the Saints with you. He's number 8 on my list of fantasy quarterbacks, but number 1 in my heart.
You two are sitting together. I'm out here on the island. That's fitting.
That's good. That's what you get for not saying hi.
Thank you. Matt Hamilton, the hammer to his friends, just turned to him because I forgot to check with him. Last back-to-back MVP, and he mouthed to me, Brett Favre. So there he is. Get the hammer shot. So I'm going to go back-to-back with Patrick Mahomes.
All right.
And I think that what you saw from him immediately when he started that game his rookie year at Week 17 was an understanding of how things work on the field. And now you saw in the second year the ability to improv on top of that. So the point being, a lot of times you see that sophomore slump. Teams start to figure a guy out. You're not going to be able to figure this guy out. I really don't think you're going to ever see that little dip that you sometimes see from a quarterback.
The only thing I would say, Jeezy, is as a defender and a DB, if I know I got the MVP and Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes and all these dudes, they're going to get everything I got.
Yeah.
And so where I thought he was a first-year starter last year and, guys figured it out later in the season or middle of the season, or it probably didn't take long for guys to figure out Pat Mahomes was going to be good. But now it's validated. He is the MVP. And he is going to get coordinators, players, best shot every time he's out there. And so, Drew's been getting that best shot for years. He's ready for it. We'll see about Pat Mahomes.
It's going to take an anomaly.
That was a polite way of saying you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Back-to-back, and the field is really good. But let's move on here and name the team whose offseason acquisition will be the most impactful this season. Hall, offseason acquisitions. What do you got?
Me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go on, Jeezy. Can I call you that? Jeezy?
Sure.
Go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard D-Hall. Didn't have to swipe on my Surface. I already had the Chiefs logo up. I'm going to go with that guy, Spags, that you were just talking about. The Kansas City defense, the thought inside that locker room was we're a little too predictable, we're a little too passive, we're a little too cautious. It's not going to be the case here. He's got a lot of blitz schemes. He's got a lot of aggressive mentality. You saw that B-roll we ran a couple of minutes ago. He's got that upbeat, energetic mentality. I think you're going to see it on the field with this defense.
But if they do that and then Mahomes doesn't have to throw 50 touchdowns, how can he get MVP?
I don't like you having to have me justify my picks. They're separate entities, okay?
All right, guy not named Jeezy, what do we got?
I'm taking the Rams. And it's strictly because we know what Aaron Donald can do on defense, up the middle. But to bring a guy like Clay Matthews, who I feel like still has something left in the tank, to put him on the other side. You got Dante Fowler on the other side. I said when you signed Dante Fowler, all right, now you have outside pressure coming, and you got pressure coming from the inside. Man, you got pressure on both sides with the addition of Clay. Aaron Donald's still going to do what he does up the middle. And I like Eric Weddle. I think what the Rams did this offseason, really getting smart football players around there, already extremely talented.
Don't get much smarter than him.
Yeah, I think those two guys are winners. They know how to win. They know how to line guys up. Yeah. And they're great teammates. They're great teammates, and they're guys that will buy into whatever the status quo line is, and they're going to tote it, and those guys are going to follow it.
On line one.
And they're both going home, too.
Yeah,
which
there you go.
I wonder if that motivation, too, for these
For
guys.
sure. I will quickly say that Drew Brees will be MVP because Jared Cook will be the most impactful offseason addition for these squads. Listen, Dez signed with this team in the beginning of last year for a reason. They are looking for a secondary option for Drew Brees to throw to. Can't guard Mike has a great catch rate. He catches everything that comes his way, but I don't want him to have to do it all. I feel like, was Jimmy Graham the last viable tight end target that really stuck out that Drew Brees ever thrown to? He's never won MVP, and it might be because he hasn't really had that second guy. Ted Ginn was that on the field until he was hurt again. So to me, I think Jared Cook's a sneaky guy we need to look at. And he had coming off a successful year. Name the team, speed round. Who will miss a departed player the most?
Oh, got it. Okay, Todd Gurley, we got questions about the running game. The Rams, I'm ready to hold it to the right camera this time. The Rams and Roger Saffold, the guard. Yeah, I know that's not very sexy, but he's a pretty good player. Heck of a run blocker, might miss him.
I'm going to go quick. I'm going to go, who I got? Kansas City. I'm sorry. I'm going to go Kansas City. It's, Eric Berry hadn't been that impactful the last year or so, but just his presence in that locker room, what he went through, the kind of leader he was to that football team, they're going to miss him a lot in that locker room.
Gronk, 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 Gronk. They're going to miss him, but they're going to find a way to make it back to the Super Bowl for the 9th straight year, and that's why it's going to be so amazing to watch the journey.
What if he comes back? Oh, see what I did to you?
Dun, dun, dun.
Slim and trim, too. Slim and trim out there.
There you have it. So much to come. Training camp is underway. We've got Mike Garafolo, D'Angelo Hall, myself breaking it all down. Let's talk Texans. A lot of hype over them, but they have to get off a bit of a playoff ceiling and hump that they have. What about some changes being made in the